Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I have been campaigning, hitting the road. ¿Cómo se dice, güey? Kissing babies, shaking hands.
Yeah.
Telling the world about red pill tamales. We've done farmers markets. Dude, pulling over at burger joints. I mean, we were putting the boots to the ground where the pinche rubber meets the road. Todo el pinche gravel, compadre. We were in the 956, San Antonio, Alice, Texas, Jim Wells County. Todos los pinches counties, güey. And it's good to be back, man. But shout out to TLC, Texas Latino Conservatives. They had me as part of their outreach. You know what I'm saying? We huddled up in the RV and hit the road. This is RPT, man. The word is spreading. Midterms are upon us. It's your boy Chingo Bling, the Ghetto Vaquero, El Rey de Foreplay, the Tamale Kingpin, the Masa Messiah, the Versace Mariachi. And we have DJ producer Big Rob in the building.
What's going on, everybody? It's AKA the El Barbón, ven para acá, Barbón.
Oh, it's a Barbón. That's how Penny used to always say, Barbón.
Oh, yeah.
Papi, you gonna record with Barbón?
Sí, mija. Onta broccoli.
Oh, you saw she was wearing the Vans, right?
Yeah, man. I figured she liked the little scary characters on there, like Nightmare Before Christmas. I think
she's all about Halloween. Yeah, they fit her big, but she wants to be a big girl like Brooklyn.
We are we're upon November, Chingo Bling.
Yes, sir.
Today's the 2nd of November.
October surprises and all.
October surprises. Dude, please tell people where you're going to be this weekend and we'll get into that.
All right, check it out. Everybody in the DF Dub, Addison Improv. We're coming in hot. We're ending the tour in the DF Dub. Get your tickets now. That is November 4th, 5th, and 6th. Plenty of shows to pick from. Do not get sold out. Sauce.
How do you feel about the tour coming to an end this year?
Well, I'm looking forward to finally filming. I know we got some footage in San Antonio, but we want to definitely film these and you know, I want to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Stray from the script a little bit. Like that's something I got from doing some of this speaking at these political type events. Like the first night in McAllen, I was like notes, super scripted. Dude, I was having to fill 30 minutes at that in Hidalgo County. No. It wasn't all improv, but like I had quote unquote material, but there's like a street behind you. There's a stoplight right there. There's a Family Dollar, like AutoZone, whatever. There's like parking lots. People are under a tent eating barbecue, and you're on a flatbed stage, you know, and there's like these like DJ lights, like red and blue or whatever. It's not a comedy club. It's not indoor. None of that.
How many did you do total?
I mean, I was talking, shaking hands. I'm at the barbershop. I lost count. You know, we're at the breakfast thing. Hey, what do you want, chilaquiles? And
I mean, like on stage though, like we had to fill like a 30-minute kind of thing.
No, after that, Marisol and I were like, you're not doing 30 minutes, bro.
Okay.
You know, it's like, how do you keep the energy up? Like, for example, you have Monica de la Cruz, who's been doing these like rallies and, you know, and we're and we're gonna tell Washington, you know, they need our voice will be heard. RGV. It's quick, it's in and out, it's talking about the points, the messaging, the issues, you know, faith, family, freedom, hard work. You know, the Democrats think we want handouts. You know, we're tired of your inflation. Look at the price of chicken and eggs. And you know, it's quick, it's in and out. 30 minutes, bro. Can you imagine that? 30 minutes.
No.
So anyway, my point is, I kind of like figured out like, okay, you got to just be like present in the moment, and you can't necessarily be too scripted when you're on the back of a flatbed thing. You know what I'm saying? With like the speakers and like, you know.
You're like, I need a comment.
Can you announce that there's a black Honda, there's blocking. Hey, tell them the brisket is ready. The brisket is ready. So from a stand-up comedian standpoint, it's kind of like difficult.
Yeah. Damn,
you
son. So it's the last...
Welcome to my life, Rob.
Welcome to Chingo Bling's life. By the way, Red Pill Tamales has premium content. You know, I kind of wanted to expand on this. It's the beginning of a new month. Mm-hmm. Most people go to patreon.com/Red Pill Tamales, and they're like, oh, I gotta sign up on this day. If not, I'll get charged, you know, double charged. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. No matter what day you sign up, you get charged on that day and then a month later. So you have to worry about double charging. So I don't know if people know that they get triple the podcast, Chingo, if they're a part of the Patreon. Not only do they get the Discord, but they get a Thursday episode, they get a Friday episode. It's triple the podcast if you sign up for premium content.
Yeah, so we appreciate all the support, supporting the network. RPT Studios also has a YouTube page, and we're on rockfin.com, ROKFIN.com, which I love. I love it. I know some people in the Discord complained because they left Patreon, they went to Rockfin.
Yeah.
I love jumping on there. I get notifications from like 10th Planet Denver. I'm leaving comments. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it kind of feels like a little YouTube in its infancy.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to I'll go check out Sam Tripoli's content, Eddie Bravo's content. I'll go and catch up on certain things.
No, same dude.
Jimmy Dore, he's got some good shit on there.
There's a ton of good stuff on there. So you want to just segue right into the news?
Yeah, there's all kind of stuff going on. One thing that caught my eye was Ron DeSantis got invited out on stage with Luke Bryan in a concert. You know any Luke Bryan songs?
Oh, yeah.
Can you name me one?
Country Girl, Shake It for Country Girl.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
come on. What else?
I mean, I haven't listened to him in a while.
Well, I don't know any of the songs. I know the name. Maybe I know some of the songs and don't know that's the name that goes with it.
Probably.
But apparently the crowd roars. Was this in Florida, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Crowd goes wild. Twitter has a meltdown.
So this was the quick video.
We're going to have some fun, and we're going to raise some money tonight for the great state of Florida, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Governor Ron DeSantis.
I mean, it is a country concert.
Yeah.
Just because country music executives and labels have gone woke.
Yeah, and
doesn't mean that the fans.
They talk about, the articles are like country fans. So these are country fans at a country concert, right? Mm-hmm. So when you go to different articles, publications, they're like country fans. Like there's like two different types of country fans. The ones that are on Twitter complaining about this thing, and the ones that were actually there, roaring for the government.
Yeah, and he said, we're going to raise money. So at that point, it's almost like, let's not even be partisan. We're raising money.
Yeah.
This is who the governor is, and we're here to raise money. So it's not our fault he's popular.
This screenshot has some of the tweets.
Oh,
there.
wow. Look at these dumbass bots tweets. All of them got fucking Ukraine flags in their shit. So Luke Bryan admits he hates women and immigrants. Someone else said, sad and seriously disappointing. F you, Luke Bryan. I couldn't
read that one. Yeah, but they have the Ukraine flag. So these are the quote unquote supporters who are just probably bots. If I had to guess.
Yeah, probably, more than likely. Or they're like libs in like New York who don't listen to country anyway.
Yeah.
Go pull it back up, please, if you don't mind. It says.
Oh, go back to it.
Yeah, go down a little. Okay. It says bitter. There's a headline on what's that website?
Louderwithcrowder.com.
Louder with Crowder. Bitter libs are canceling country megastar Luke Bryan for inviting Ron DeSantis on stage at a hurricane benefit. So at the end of the day, it was a hurricane benefit.
Yeah.
So
and then he just went down the road and did another sold out arena, probably somewhere in Florida.
And it's in Florida.
Yeah.
And it's country music fans. And Ron DeSantis is Governor Beast Mode. So I mean, it's just annoying that some people are just so partisan and so brainwashed. It's like, okay, why are you mad at Ron DeSantis? Because he did the don't say gay. And it's like, that's not what it was. It had nothing to do with that. It's a super misnomer.
You did, well, if you guys don't know yet, we do Coffee Seat the Time every Tuesday. So there's a Coffee Seat the Time out by the time you listen to this. And you kind of, you threw it in there about, maybe before or after, about the election in Brazil. So
yes.
I don't know how familiar you were with it.
Not a ho.
I'm not either, but I do like doing Brandon tweets at the beginning of RPT. And this is from this morning. Can you read it from your angle?
Here we go. This is at POTUS on Twitter. Sound country in a bitch. I send my congratulations, folks, to Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva on his election to be the next president of Brazil. Following free, fair, incredible elections. Yeah, free, fair, incredible elections. Shut your... I look forward to working together to continue the cooperation, folks. Hey, I'm not kidding. By the way, between our two countries in the months and years ahead. Come on, man.
You sound like if Joe Biden was a comic book guy from The Simpsons, where he's one meal away from needing a scooter to get around.
Fuck, bro. This pobrecito viejito. Who wrote this for you, sir? So yeah, right away he's jumping on it, and he's back in the leftist, CCP-controlled ex-criminal puppet. Here we go.
What does this say? This is a reply to that.
Oh, yeah.
All caps. Hold the House and codify Roe. Hold the House and add SCOTUS term limits. Hold the House and increase wages. Hold the House and get a majority in the Senate.
Anyway.
Okay. you know, I guess make the conversation a little bit more casual. You know, you've been on the road doing this political thing, and I referenced Bill Burr at the end of the last most recent Cafecito time. What do you think about people that just? So you were trying to get people to get involved. We do that with RPT to an extent. We have our Discord and our private group and all that. Do you think that everybody should be involved, or should you think that there should be a line in the sand where you're like, if you're not going to be educating yourself on how to get involved, just kind of like do your thing, whatever it is, somewhere else?
I think the problem right now is that it's easier said than done. And I want to read what Trump's statement in a second. So
Okay.
We'll go back to it.
Right.
I think it's easier said than done, because when we say inform yourself, educate yourself, to some people that means I turned on the news and I'm informed. And that's why I like Beto. And so it's one of those where it's kind of like, where do we even begin to even like show who's been predicting better? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to whether it's Scott Adams or Louder with Crowder or which like if you follow Jack Posobiec, or you know, is Newsmax controlled opposition? Are they accurate? Is Fox News full of shit except for Tucker? Like, who do you? Is Russell Brand, Rogan, just a little bits and pieces that pop up there? Invest 3 hours of your life every fucking day. Listen to it at double time. Red Pill Tamales, like, who's been more accurate at predicting, hey, are there treatments for this disease? Where did that disease come from? Like, is Fauci full of shit? Do we look at Fauci as this unelected bureaucrat who exacerbated the entire fucking thing and was complicit in not only like having a fucking patent on one of the medicines, knowing, according to his emails, he done knew already where all this shit, the money was flowing and who was getting grants and what lab what? Or is he Saint Fauci that MSNBC told you, hey, it stops it in its tracks? This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. You know, they're the ones infringing upon, you know, F your freedom. Like, it's like, where do you even begin to like say if I'm talking to my mom or another family member or a fan, like if somebody on my Facebook Live says, all right, Chingo, persuade me. You see what I'm saying? Like, why should they take my word? Like, how should I communicate? You know, it's like, it's just so much easier to say, if you're not informed, just stay out of it. Because to some people, being informed is, I read the Chronicle, you know, I'm informed. That's the fucking paper that's been around forever in Houston. And it's like, yeah, they were also probably pro-lockdown and, you know, I don't know what else.
Your Beto is so on point, man. The way you do Beto impersonation.
We cannot stand back.
So yeah, I don't know. It's weird because as you just kind of get more involved and you read more and you try to like be up to date with things, you see at the same time in real time how less involved and less informed a lot of other people are. For instance, we did early voting has started last week, and we went Saturday morning. Woke up early. We went to a big school that was in the area and voted, and then we went to a farmer's market. Right, farmer's market. And everybody Dawn had her I voted sticker on. I left mine in the car, and everybody was like, "Oh, hey, good, you voted already, right?" Like, "Oh, where'd you vote at?" I kind of asked her and stuff. And then fast forward later that day, I go to the next morning, I go to a car show with some buddies, and everybody that's there, I had it on just to kind of like see if anybody would point it out, right? And like people just they kind of glance all sticker and they glance all sticker, but it was more one of those like, I wonder who you voted for, or vote. Like it's more like vote. Who you voting for right now? Like almost just kind of like, who are you voting for? It's the president, you know, just got in office.
Oh wow.
Where it's like it's so funny to see the different like communities just completely.
I mean, in a way that was me, and that's one thing that, you know, as I have these conversations with you week after week after week, that's one thing I sometimes think about, which is like, I remember being on that other side. Like I remember being one of those people that I sit up here and talk about. That's like, bro, you don't even fucking know. Like, how can you not know? But my main thing back then, like, I mean, I said, I called out Obama on one song. You know what I mean? Like, of course, a lot of people know the line, you know, yo, Kanye, Bush don't like Mexicans either. You know, I'd pick on Bush and shit. You know, he was pro-war like a motherfucker.
Right.
But I trip out on how like you were never tempted, like nobody ever brainwashed you. You were never indoctrinated. Like when you were young and impressionable, like maybe they tried, that shit just didn't get through to you because you had the other side in your ear somehow, which was kind of like, actually, this is what Republicans actually stand for, or these are why this makes more sense logically or economically speaking. there's no such thing as this handout, or do you know where that quote unquote socialized healthcare is going to come? You know what I mean? Like knowing about taxes and the economy and logic and fucking facts and hearing another side versus just growing up knowing that, oh, if you wanted to tune into the fucking Desert Storm Gulf War, you turned on the news, and the news was CNN, and CNN had camera people out there, and you'd see the fucking, oh, we have another Scud missile. Like, dude, I don't know if you were even born when we would literally watch fucking CNN showing you another Patriot missile, whatever these things were called, the Patriot heat-seeking
Hellfire missiles.
I don't remember that one, but I remember Scud missiles, like all this new artillery that was dropping around the Gulf War, Desert Storm. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I just remember when CNN was Ted Turner. You know what I mean? And this was like the most trusted name in news. And there was no Covington kids. There was no, he said drink bleach, you know. Maybe I didn't notice how they were slinging mud back and forth and how they were trying to frame each other.
Right.
But my point is, I wonder what that's like to have grown up. Like, my dad, bro, he wasn't talking to me about none of this shit. Neither was my mom. They're just like immigrants and trying to figure out other stuff. But I guess like my brother-in-law, he wasn't all in my grill about it, but he was like just pretty America first, military, Marine, you know, freedom.
Dude, I couldn't fucking hang out with my dad once and him not bring something up like this.
So he was like Rush Limbaugh?
Yeah. I mean, he used to call me, he's like, God damn it, boy. When I was a kid, he's like, I swear you're like a little Michael Berry. He used to tell me that shit, like, just because I used to always like talking, because I wouldn't go against what he was saying, but I always wanted to like kind of almost be devil's advocate in a sense. When I was like a teenager, like 13, 14, 15, like getting into high school. Just push back, yeah, just to get him to explain more about why he's so set on what he's saying. Because at the time, too, it was always Bill O'Reilly on in the house and Hannity and shit. And they're not great characters to begin with. They still aren't. If you're fans, I mean, that's fine. And even Tucker. Tucker's kind of had a really different arc in his in the way that he presents the information, and just kind of how you can kind of see that he sides. It was more, you could have argued that he was more of the not a character, but kind of almost like a caricature of like what's his name, Jon Stewart, or the other guy, one of the late night guys. Like, it was almost like, I don't know how to read this guy. Now it's very evident. America first, you know, the way he says things is very, at least to me, tries to come across as like very factual, or not factual, but like a matter of fact. Like, this is what they said. They'll say like, CNN reported X, we're saying X, you know, this. Like, try to like distinguish between, you know, you're on your own what's what. But there was just a lot more just fuckery 20 years ago, 15 years ago on Fox and this news in general, where if you were trying to like hang on every word that Bill O'Reilly said, you were probably one of now like they would call you like an ultra mega extreme ultra right kind of person, right? If you love Bill O'Reilly. Mm-hmm. Point is, my dad loved all that shit, and he's still like, none of his kids are liberal Democrat types, but if you say anything that he like kind of doesn't agree with, he'll take any excuse to call one of his kids a liberal leftist Democrat, just to like poke at his kids, just to kind of be like, yeah, you fucking not, he won't say fucking, but like, you liberal, like
you're getting a little bit too progressive.
Yeah,
like you're okay with some of this shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
that's how I was indoctrinated. Like you have access to TV, like media. You live in a big blue city.
Yeah.
You're super diverse, big blue city. You like rap music. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's NWA and they're just talking, it's like news of the hood, and they're just saying, you know, yeah, they might say bitches ain't shit and fuck these hoes and all this, and I'm gonna pimp this and that and the third, I'm gonna sell this dope, and it's like the shit was cool.
Yeah.
And then Bill O'Reilly was not cool,
right?
Because he was the one that was so smug, like being like, and you know, waving a finger in your face, like, this is why rappers are bad. Rap music is this, and I'm like, hey man, I like fucking Ludacris or 50 Cent or whoever these people. So yeah, I always just try to put myself in the position of folks who are like, oh, I've always been Republican. My parents were very adamant. And that's probably how my daughters are going to be. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, some shit we just can't, it's like a lot of dead end roads that I feel the left promotes. You know, everything from you don't need a man to you don't need no kids. Your career comes first. Abort your baby. The border's not open. What do you mean? You know, like, well, yeah, national security is one thing, but these people are good people, all of them, and don't you dare question.
But you know, also like the communication styles of the two sides, I think might have been what stuck the most from the beginning. Not to say that you'll turn on Fox and you'll have, you know, Donna Brazil and whoever else, like just arguing in those little clips where it's like, you know, you got 3 different fucking screens going and they're yelling at each other's throats. But if you took some of the candidates or people that were on those shows and you looked at them somewhere else where they had longer time to speak, they were able to convey a message and get their conversation like in full out with somebody who opposed them. Versus if you listen to anybody that was on the left, their communication styles was never good. Like you couldn't, like Rogan's a really good example of it. He'll always say he's still like a liberal, right, or whatever he calls himself these days, but he communicates like somebody who's more on the conservative side in the sense that like I'll listen to you and we'll have a debate, you know, we'll ping and pong it. Versus a lot of people on the left is people on Twitter before Elon took over, where it's just like yelling at you, wanting to attack you, like very incapable of just having some sort of like civil conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, Twitter didn't even really exist.
Well, yeah.
So I was like already like a up and coming artist in my 20s, where it was like, oh, this is another tool to reach people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But your kids, like,
I don't even think it was toxic like that back then.
Nah, not nearly the way it is now. But like your girls will probably have that ability to, not just because you're really good at, you know, like breaking down conversation and breaking down like persuasion, all these kind of things, but just having a conversation with somebody, a family member disagrees with you or a friend who might not see it the same way. You're not going to attack them and belittle them and make them feel like shit or look stupid. You'll have a way to maneuver your words where you can be sometimes, let's say most of the time. Mm-hmm. Some might say half the time. Your girls will probably be the same way. Like they'll be able to like not get so in their head or feels about things if somebody disagrees with them.
Hopefully they're so isolated, thriving. They're just like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. By then we live in the country. We got chickens, eggs. You know, they got their stuff going on to where they're not going to be lost in the sauce like a rudderless ship in some big city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I don't have a lot of hope for a lot of these big cities, but let's say, for example, my 14-year-old, you know, where she goes to school, I'm not there to monitor. Like, yeah. I don't know. And I just hope that I arm her with enough logic and analytical, critical thinking type of skills to where she's not going to fall for these okie dokes of like, no, this is a new thing. And there's new data now. And that's why these are the genders. And that's why technically men can get pregnant. And technically women can have a penis.
Can you imagine?
I mean, that's kind of what they're pushing. Real quick, cafecito time. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the scent. This is the official scent of the show. You can log on right now, twincandleco.com. How quick is shipping, man? Do the orders go out right away?
Yeah, the orders go out. I mean, they are made to order where they're made in small batches, but we have a batch from the initial launch. So they'll go out in 2 business days, usually 2 to 3 business days or less. And they'll be in UPS or USPS's hands. And hopefully they get to you fast. Yeah,
we have candles and the wax melts. Just hit up twincandleco.com. It's the official scent and vibes of the Cafecito Time podcast and RPT Studios.
Yeah, just over your shoulder. It's lit right there by the awesome bobbleheads. Know what I'm saying? Right there. Use code TIA10 to save 10%.
Yeah, so everybody listening, boom, you just got laced up.
What's up?
There's a lot of shit in the news with midterms. Let me see. New York governor tries to take advantage of the New York Post Twitter getting hacked.
Dude, did you hear about this story?
Well, I heard the New York Post Twitter got hacked.
Well, before we actually move on, you mentioned, I didn't even see this, but you wanted to read what Trump wrote. I hadn't read this. I hadn't seen it.
So I guess Trump made a statement on Truth Social.
But the lady with the flag in her bio, the Ukraine flag, put loser and then winner. So she put Trump as loser and then Biden was the winner here.
Yeah, so Trump truthed. To the people of Brazil, this is your big day, and also a big day for the world.
Why do you have a list?
You're great. Yeah. You're great, and highly respected President Jair Bolsonaro needs you to get out and vote today so that your country can continue on its incredible path of success. Don't let the radical left lunatics and maniacs destroy Brazil like they have so many other countries. So sad, so sad. Look at South America. Bang up job. President Bolsonaro has done a fantastic job, has my complete and total endorsement, and deserves your vote. He will never let you down. Bolsonaro got a lot of support in Brazil, bro.
Interesting.
A shit ton. Like a bunch of the jiu-jitsu dudes. All the people, they had all kind of motorcycle bike rallies for them. Tons of support. And you see the parallels between trompitas. You know, so we would hate to see Brazil go the same path as a lot of these South American countries.
So that because I'm not caught up on it. When's the election? Is that today? Was that yesterday?
Ya pasó, ya se la robaron.
Oh, okay. That's what he's talking about. Look at this still from BBC.
Who is that? Is that Luna?
Yeah. Oh, here
Key facts about Lula.
Lula makes what does it say? Makes stunning comeback.
Yeah, I know he went to prison for some shit. 77 years old, left wing, former metal worker, president from 2003 to 2010, imprisoned in 2018, but conviction was later thrown out. I don't know too much about him. It just says that he's left wing. I believe that Glenn Greenwald has been covering Brazilian politics because he lives out there.
Okay.
So he's been covering that. Obviously, War Room, they cover a lot of the geopolitical stuff. But yeah, people were predicting like, the left, the CCP, they want to have their tentacles all up in South America, and Brazil is like that last domino.
Bolsonaro supporters block highway near Rio de Janeiro following presidential election results. People aren't happy, it seems like. But it's, half of them, who knows?
Yeah. We're going to talk about Hammer Time here in a minute. Paul Pelosi.
Hammer Time.
Please, Hammer. Don't hurt him.
We moved the stuff around. I hear a slight little buzz, but I don't know what it is, guys. So if you hear it on your end, sorry. It just might be in our headphones. It might not actually be on the recording.
We shall see.
But we'll see. Yeah, dude.
Patreon.com/Red Pill Tamales.
Get it today.
We can get another assistant up in here. We can get another assistant, and we can start really rocking and rolling.
So I have the Fox News article pulled up. What do you know so far about what's happened? Because there's been so many different aspects of the story that it's come out that I don't know what's what. Other than, and I'll give you the short and sweet that I know. Cops are called. It's early in the morning, like 2 a.m. I think it was, like early middle of the morning or whatever. The person was inside the house where Pelosi was. I believe Pelosi was in his undies, possibly a G-string, from what I heard. And he tells the perpetrator, the alleged perpetrator, that he needs to use the restroom. He then goes into the restroom, makes a call. That's where Paul Pelosi's phone was charging. And then cops come in. They see that a door's unlocked. But then I read that a third person let him into the house. Unidentified third person. We don't have any surveillance footage from this event. I said from the very first report that this seemed like some gay quilt bag type stuff. But you tell me what you think.
Well, yeah, of course. The left is trying to spin it. They're trying to spin it into, you see, this is like J6 all over again.
Yep.
They ran up in the Capitol looking for Nancy, talking about, where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? And now they're running up in her home, her place of, this is her private space. And they all up in her home saying, where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? Because these are crazy ultra MAGA people. Because supposedly this dude had posted some conspiracy theories and like anti-government stuff on his Facebook. What they don't tell you is they were in their drawers. They had hammers. There was a third person. He knew the guy, right? They don't want you to hear the 911 call, the cop call, how he knew his name was David. He said he was a friend. They don't tell you where David lived and that he was like a nudist activist or something. And he lived in this hippie home in Berkeley. And supposedly he was a male prostitute. And supposedly out in front of that house where he stays in Berkeley, it's like the trans flag and the BLM and the We Believe in Science and the fucking Help Ukraine. I'm helping. I'm on my 10th booster. They don't tell you how they're really lefties. And they also don't tell you that Nancy Pelosi is third in line to the president's seat.
Right.
And she got all kind of security. They got all kind of cameras. And all of a sudden, ain't no footage. They also don't want you to hear the neighbor's account of what happened and what they saw and what type of activity. So, again, this is just a cover up of like, was he drunk? Was he not? Who was there? Like when he was DUIing, it's like, did he injure someone? What car was he in? They said that's why that whole shit got out about the DUI, because he had like a spare car or something. But anyway, at their house, they have Capitol Police. I don't know if they have Secret Service, but they definitely have Capitol Police, and people who have gone to serve them with some kind of papers know that there's always security on staff. Like, you're not walking in with a hammer in your drawers to attack Nancy Pelosi through an unattended sliding door.
No.
No. He was let in. They were up in there acting a fool.
You're not climbing some fence with a hammer in your undies.
Yeah, somebody had a hammer in the undies, and somebody was hammering.
Hammer, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody was hammering something, and then shit went awry.
So yeah, it seems like a lover spat, something
Some type of little lover quarrel.
gone awry.
A squirrel quarrel.
Some might say it's a little on the fetishy side.
And you know what, man? It goes back to the whole thing about if you're not informed, don't get involved.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. I don't know how many inaccurate. I know things get framed different depending on who you follow, and there's sometimes spin, and there's context, and there's things that you aren't considering. But from what I can tell, somebody that is obviously on the right, like a motherfucker, from what I could tell, if you're in a leftist news bubble, you're always 5 steps behind. You're always thinking something's a conspiracy theory when it ain't. You're always thinking that it's okay what they're doing to Alex Jones. It was perfectly fine that Trump got kicked off Twitter. You're probably super triggered and all of a sudden concerned with Elon Musk owning Twitter. You know what I mean? So from what I can tell, if you are stuck in a leftist news bubble, you're just following a bunch of fucking false shit. And this is like prime example.
It is, and they're actually making it up because, like you said, there's no surveillance, there's no eyewitnesses, there's nobody that was there that's talking about this. But if you go to a PBS NewsHour or a BBC or whoever's talking about this, they'll say these allegations that are like as if it's in a report or as if it was in a videotape or a phone call that he was there for Nancy Pelosi. He was there for, this is the kind of rhetoric from J6. This is the kind of thing that Trump...
Nothing to see here, folks. It was MAGA.
Exactly. These chants that are coming out, like, where Biden did this, like the next day or that same day, where it's like, these chants. He keeps talking about these chants that they're saying, like, where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? Where has anyone ever said, where's Nancy? One as a chant, and the other one that's closest to it is, where is she? Supposedly, that AOC may or may not have made up. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know nothing. So, to quote Eddie Bravo.
Shout out to Mike Cernovich. He retweeted from another account called Rising Serpent, something or other. And that person tweeted, isn't it amazing how the media hasn't figured out the Jan 6 pipe bomber, the Supreme Court leaker, a single one of Epstein's clients, the motive of the Las Vegas shooter, but they knew Paul Pelosi's midnight visitor was MAGA, even before both could put their underwear back on. I'm about to retweet that shit.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
If it's never been, it's got to be so evident now, I'm just saying, guys, that all this stuff you see on an everyday basis is probably more than likely propagandized in one way or another. Like, there's so much made up, quote unquote, context to these stories that they almost none of them have validity.
Rob sounded like Kanye saying that the media has an agenda.
Well, I may or may not have been saying that since I was 20 years old, but what?
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That was it.
Another thing, not to sound like Kanye, another thing about... See, this is how you know you're scared to get in trouble.
Okay.
This is how you know that once you get to talking about the Jewish media,
Yeah.
that everybody gets super fucking uptight. Thankfully, we're independent. We have 0 sponsors. And our Patreon is, it's growing. It's growing. Thank you. But allegedly, the pornography websites are all owned by people that are of a certain demographic. So if you wanted to destroy young men's brains and ruin their ability to kind of like navigate, and just you want them just distracted all the time and focused on, all that filth, flooring filth. Hey, it just, I don't know if Kanye wanted to add that to his list of grievances and just be like, and another thing, since he's on a roll, right? He could just be like, and pay attention to who owns all these websites and why is it? Why are they attacking a society? Why are they attacking the Judeo-Christian West? Why are they promoting so many things? But anyway, this tweet, goddamn, bro, think about it. Like, if you want to be stuck in the leftist news bubble and you want to follow their advice and their reporting, these are the same people that got on TV and were like, we're here with Ligma and Johnson. We're here with Ligma Johnson. We're here with Ligma Johnson. Ligma Johnson We're here with Ligma Johnson. It's almost like the tavern owner on The Simpsons was like, hey, Ligma Johnson?
Moe's
is there
like,
it's Moe's Tavern.
See more butts? Is there a see more butts here?
The media didn't even do their research. Like, was Ligma a coding engineer at Twitter? Was Johnson an employee of Twitter? Did Elon Musk just... And then Elon trolled the media and said, ace reporting, guys. Like, do your fucking job. They're so quick to try to run and get the story out and clickbait every goddamn body. That's why Carrie Lake is winning. Her strategy is great, which is just expose how fake they are.
Yeah.
You know, and that was going to be my plan when I was on this run, you know, rallying and telling people to go out to vote and vote their values. I was like, if the fucking leftist news media gets in my grill, I'm going to just be like, y'all are illegitimate to me. Y'all have been totally inaccurate. Like, y'all don't even do y'all's job. So why would I hop on some fake shit when all y'all do is hoax, take stuff out of context? And I'm hoping that what I filmed yesterday at the farmer's market, I'm hoping that don't get chopped up into a hit piece. That's why I'm just like, let me tape record what I said. Let me make my answers very clear. But yeah, hey, if you want to believe that Paul Pelosi had a random intruder looking for Nancy, then fuck, go ahead and believe that and go get boosted while you at it.
Yeah, you know, go ahead. Or maybe watch Ben Shapiro's video on how he's super mad that he was lied to, like everybody else, about it not stopping transmission and so on and so forth. And maybe that'll change your mind.
Wait, say that one more time. Ben Shapiro, what now?
He made that YouTube video where he was super mad that he's like, they lied to us about
What do you
everything.
think about his little spiel there?
I don't know, man. Ben Shapiro's on this thing. I say this thing in the sense of like he is on a like Mount Rushmore to a lot of people of conservative commentators who's very matter of fact and, you know, Sherry's berries and facts only, facts not over your feelings. And
how you spell assess?
ASSESS, right?
ASSESS. Oh wow, is it? Okay.
But I don't know. I really don't know what to make of it because there's the whole. Apparently, they didn't want to have Kanye on.
It sounded like you picking on the Jewish media, bro. When you said Ben Shapiro, and then you did the Sherry's Berries voice.
Sherry's berries, get 10% off.
I don't know if J.P. Morgan Chase wants to know, or if PayPal is concerned.
I don't know, man. I really don't know what to think of it because if some of it's true as far as like him not wanting to have, or them Daily Wire not wanting to have Kanye on to discuss, that seems very uncharacteristic like. But it could be maybe they've drawn a line and that's what it is. And then you have the vax stuff from the jump. Anytime I saw him make a video about, you know, we've got the information, we got the, you know, the numbers say this, and, you know, we should probably just go ahead and trust the institutions. I think he's not one to sow. He's really hard to not sow division in what our quote unquote experts are supposed to be delivering to us. And if he were to come out and just take a stance that like an Alex Jones took, or like anybody that's been on War Room honestly took, he would have been discredited by so many people because they hang on to what he says because he's supposed to be the voice of reason for them.
So you're saying he's like controlled opposition, or?
I don't think he's controlled opposition. I just think he's convinced himself. When he says things, I think he's convinced himself of them to the highest degree.
Like he's a different, like he's like almost like a lefty in a way, even though he's on the right.
I just think he's on the spectrum. He's on the spectrum of some sort. So when he were
autistic.
I don't know if it's autistic, but it's somewhere on the spectrum where in this, let me just paint the scenario.
Asperger's.
You know what? That's actually closer to it. Him and Elon are probably like on the same spectrum of whatever this is. But he maybe read statistics and read reports and read information that, you know, his curators gave him, or maybe he went out there and found his own stuff.
It was synthesized already. You don't have access to the raw data.
Right. But it was given to him in a way that when he read it, he came to this conclusion. He's like, I've read it, I've reread it, and I've triple read it from these sources, and this is how my take's going to go out. And it was like that for a year.
He went and got double jab, right?
Yeah.
He said his wife was like triple, quadruple.
Yeah. So then imagine that. Like you did all this research, you did all this commentary, you did all this content creation, and then the things that the crazy wackos like Alex Jones, and all these other people,
Kyrie Irving.
I got a great clip about Kyrie Irving queued up. All these people are talking about his mind. He probably had a little bit of a mental, you know, just fuse kind of bust. But I don't know. I'm not making excuses for him. That's just how I see it.
It's almost like it sounds to me, reading between the lines, like he's like I don't want to say controlled opposition, but he's on the right, but he's establishment as fuck. Meaning, instantly he's going to, you know, throw Kanye away. You know, everything Kanye said is totally dangerous and just idiotic, and his grammar is so wrong. You know, it's like he's gonna dismiss all of Kanye's grievances because he's attacking his tribe. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, anyway, but bringing it back to the jab, it's like it's almost like he don't listen to RPT. He's not ultra MAGA. He's like light, MAGA light. He's super MAGA light. Like, how did you go along with pharma? And it's like, no, it looks to me that. And it's like, bro, did you not factor in that, you know, maybe the alpha variant was like dangerous for like obese and elderly, but by the time we was on Omicron and Delta, or what, I mean, I heard Delta was bad too, but like the survival rate, Benjamin,
Benji,
yeah, Shapiro. I mean, how? I don't understand. Like, even Scott Adams, man, like, these are super smart people. A lot of people got it just because they thought they were going to need it for travel.
Yeah.
It's just very unfortunate. It's one of those, like, you know, how high of a priority was it to folks at the time? Like, yo, I really, based on my research and my sources, I feel, I mean, Rogan was about to get it. Rogan was about to get it, but that's right when the J&J got recalled. He was like, oh, shit, okay, let me chill. They got a lot of people thinking you're going to need them. A lot of comedians, man, a lot of these venues, I thought were going to, you know, I knew the passports and I still want to go to LA.
Well, it's always who's got the most to lose. And I'm not even using you as the example because you had and have more to lose than, let's just say, 90% of your listeners or fans. And then you have like the fan. Just let me use the example here. You got the fans, you have entertainers, and then you have like the people that run the media. We're not going to use the group name, but whoever they are, whoever's got the most to lose is probably just going to go with whatever the reporting is, right? If they say they're going to scare tactic you into saying, take this, or you lose your job, you lose your pension, you lose it. I'll be like, oh, whoa, okay, all right. You're saying it's good. Here's the reports, the statistics. You can't lie with statistics, obviously. So let me just go ahead and read that. Got it. Cool. Let's go. That's it. Rogan's in the same camp, and I was going to say, I feel like when Ben was on there for the first time, he probably had the same, I'm obviously reading his mind here, but because of the way he kind of just like throws Kanye away, he's never sat down to have a 3-hour conversation with Kanye.
Or he didn't go through line by line debunking.
Exactly.
He didn't say like, actually, no, if you really look at it, we really don't.
Yeah.
We're not the ones that canceled you.
So if you think of him going on Rogan for the first time, I'm sure he didn't listen to 3-hour Rogans for 10 years before he went on Rogan for the first time. He probably knew a couple of things about him. He probably had some of those like reservations about him as a person and him as what he talks about, his commentation on life and medicine and pharma and health and all this. But he went on there, and now fast forward 5 years from then, oh, they're like great friends. They have dinner all the time, right? So you're going to see a conversation with Kanye and Ben eventually. If anything, it's really just like...
Well, did you see Kanye on Lex Fridman?
I saw like 5 minutes of it. Here's my opinion. I've never been a big Lex fan.
Bro, I seen like, I follow, there's some other Jewish cats that I follow, like Darren Beatty, a whole bunch of people that were like, Lex Fridman. They were like, bro, they were going off on this Lex Fridman. They were like, this dude is like super supported by the algorithm. Yeah. He's like spoon fed and placed on a platter on everybody's fucking thing. I forget what they called him. There was this comparison of like he, it was something like he is the something of Joe Rogan's. He's the something. You know what I mean?
I wish I knew what that was.
Yeah, I can't remember. But did you watch the Friedman and Kanye interview?
No, like I said, I caught like 5 minutes of it. I mean, he's so condescending a lot of times to people, and especially to Kanye. Like, I felt like he was just not really hearing him out. He wanted to just like have him be his friend and be like, "Do you trust me?" or whatever. And then the Kanye's like, "No, not really." You know, and it's like, why gotta be so fucking soft? Like, let's try to get to like, what do you want to know about him or what he said?
Yeah, that's why. Again, I really enjoyed Anomaly's takes. If you go on YouTube, look up Anomaly, and he's been dropping fire videos like every other day with like tons of sources, arguments, editing, clips, you know, backs it up and presents his info. And then Schultz, did you see the most recent thing?
Oh, what did he say?
It was another follow-up. I think it had to do, where him and the boys, they specifically went in on the Candace BLM documentary.
No, I didn't.
And Akash started off by saying, like, you know, first of all, fuck documentaries, because you can have 900,000 hours of stuff, and then you boil it down to a hot 90 minutes that only supports your side, and that's just how documentaries are. And it's true, right? You could watch I mean, you could throw a rock and hit a anti-Trump documentary. That's like all over Hulu, HBO. All of them bought one. Like if you wanted to make money, you would just compile some shit, interview some people, and just if you're trying to make Trump look bad. Like I got in Rolling Stone just because Trump was in office, and I put out a special called "They Can't Deport Us All," and they twisted it into clickbait of tackling comedy, tackling border issues in a Trump post-Trump era.
But if you start with fuck documentaries, that's just a stupid take to start with.
With what documentaries?
If I guess Akash started with fuck documentaries.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a phrase.
yeah.
Like, what if he was joking or not? Like, that's a stupid way to start your argument, because either way, if it's pro this or pro that, it's rooted in supposedly some sort of information. So if you watch the doc, let's say one was produced by CNN, one was produced by Newsmax or whoever, the Daily Wire, you go, okay, I'm gonna consume the 90-minute doc. This is what they said. This is what they said. Let me go find this evidence. Oh, what do you know? That one was completely made up, and that one was factual. Therefore, here's the information you should actually be relying on. Right?
And that's why they were so hell-bent on discrediting 2,000 Mules and stuff like that, right? I know Daily Wire has some cool shit, and Blaze TV even. They had some really good documentaries. But how many people actually watched 2,000 Mules? How many people actually watched What is a Woman? How many people actually watched Candace Owens, the one about BLM? And I didn't finish watching the whole Akash and Schultz clip, but I did look at some of the comments, and they're just like, "Oh my God, come on, Schultz! Like, bro, were you not paying attention the past 5 years? Like, how are you just up?" They're like, "You could tell he signed a contract." I was like, "Man, leave Schultz alone."
He's getting it, man.
And they were just like, "You could tell he's become establishment now." And like, I guess a big part of Schultz's fan base, they were attracted to this flagrant, against the grain, hot takes, not really echoing the narrative.
Yeah.
And people were taking it as all of a sudden y'all are propping up the narrative and what the main narrative is, which is, hey, George Floyd died specifically and only by knee pressure to the neck. Please do not look at the coroner report, autopsy, toxicology report. Don't read the part that says how much fentanyl, how many people and how many horses and how many families you could have killed with that amount of fentanyl. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of like, okay, did y'all watch it?
Yeah. I mean, and people like that need pushback. Like, yeah, we like Schultz and we say like, hey, take it easy on him. But also, these characters don't live forever. Like, they're not at the top of whatever they're doing forever on the internet. Right now, arguably, is where more of the new trailblazers are starting, like whether it's yourself and myself. Obviously, I'm going to include us in there. But you have people like these comedians like J.P. Spears and these other comedians who I can't think of their name off the top of my head, but they were calling out all the shit where they have a pretty big audience. And with things like Parallel Economy and Rumble and all these other apps, and also the need for things like YouTube and Facebook to kind of lighten up, or they're going to lose more. Like Facebook and Meta has been plummeting month over month, quarter after quarter. If you keep censoring all of the people on your platform, what's left, right? The reason that Ulta and these brands are also making trans such a big thing is because they want more of a market. Their market cap with women came to a screeching halt. We've hit all the women. Now we need men. So they want to get more people involved. If these other platforms...
Actually, they don't go by men. They think they're women too.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Dudes got dingalings.
Biological dudes.
Biological dudes.
You know, chicks with dicks. That's a whole nother untapped female market.
Right. That's true, though, right? I don't know if you've ever seen it that way, but it's an untapped market. Like, you have, obviously, people that work in the industry with makeup. Like, let's make more of them and their friends and people like them.
They're like, we got to hit the dudes with tits market.
Dudes with tits and, I can't even fucking say it. Tits and dicks need makeup, too, right? So, it's just one of those things where I don't think these platforms can continue to censor these people forever. Obviously, they need to lighten up. Their terms have to change a bit. Maybe it'll be through some government authority or not. But either way, Schultz and these takes, like, people don't like establishment, right? And whether you think that the world is majority left liberal type Democrats, you're wrong. It's mostly Republican conservative people. They're either out in the middle of nowhere and maybe they aren't really involved and don't vote, but they're waking up this kind of sleeping giant that you keep hearing or you've heard for the last 2 years. And those takes just they're not gonna stand the test of time, in my opinion. So for the meantime, get yours. You're gonna secure a couple of bags, I'm sure, but people are not gonna forget, basically.
Speaking of getting yours and securing bags, I want you to hit up grindopscoffeeco.com. That's grindopscoffeeco.com. And guess what? We have a collab. It is Chingo Bling Red Pill Blend. You can pre-order now. Get your pre-order now. It's 100% Arabica, Central American Central America produces some of the very best Arabica coffee in the world. This coffee was specifically used to produce Chingo Bling's Red Pill blend, found right in the center of the coffee belt. This blend produces a rich, chocolatey finish with a hint of spiciness. It is a medium dark roast. These are 12-ounce bags. Orders placed on pre-order will be shipped after November 1st. So hurry up. Get it now, and you can be one of the first ones to cop your bag of Cafecito. GrindOpsCoffeeCo.com. Sas. That is a clip. We got to clip that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So I can show it to our partners over at Grind Ops Coffee. But yeah, man.
I want to put that in my notes while you're talking.
Yeah, for sure. Will Ferrell visited Houston because he's trying to California my Texas.
Oh,
and we don't give a damn how they do it in Hollywood, Mr. Ferrell. All right, so we still like your comedy movies. We still think you funny and you very talented. But why in the hell is a Hollywood actor? I mean, how out of touch and tone deaf, bro?
Well, he splits his time with California and New York. So why are you coming?
Why are you over
down
here
to the dirty South trying to get Beto?
How much did that cost?
Beto boy.
Why are you pushing that, dog? I'm so confused.
I don't know. It's really upset. It's really upsetting. So when does separating the artist from the art kind of thing come into play? Like, can you still do that? Like, like separating the artist and the art and their political views or their activism being super outspoken. You know what I mean?
I think it shows how polarized we are, how bad our media is, because they got everybody at each other's throats. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of hardcore lefties that once they figure out what I'm about, just can't, especially with a lot of the shit that I've made in the past, they cannot possibly wrap their brain
Can't
around.
compute.
Yeah, their shit melts. But hey, guess what? It's cool. You ain't gotta like it. And I totally forgot we skipped over the Kyrie Irving.
Yeah,
clip.
no, you want to go? We got 10 minutes left on today's episode. You want to go out on that story?
Yeah, let's check out what Kyrie Irving had.
So you haven't seen the video I'm referring to?
No.
All right, good.
I know he referenced Alex Jones or something.
Yes, and that's exactly what these motherfuckers are trying to
That's
attack.
what they don't
him on.
like.
And this is exactly what I was saying earlier, but we'll discuss.
Kyrie, while we're on the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
Guy sounds bitch made, by the way, already.
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative, court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any of the kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults, and it's true. So I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist for Alex Jones or anything. I was just there to post. And it's funny, and it's actually hilarious, because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain about it. I just exist.
And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book,
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me me in front of
putting it out there,
the
people
title?
are going to say that you are
Yeah, I put it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not
You put
stuff,
things out there for a living, right?
right? But my stuff
Great.
is
So
not
let's move on.
filled
Let's
with
move on.
anti-Semitic
Let's
stuff.
move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing
I'm
that.
another
You're
human
free to
being.
post
I can post whatever I want. So
can post
say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that by
I don't have to understand anything from you.
But it's
Nothing.
not me.
Nothing.
By
It's no
posting
people that
what
you're
you
making up,
did,
bro. Move on.
But by posting
Move
what
on.
you
Next
did,
question. Next
anybody
question. Do
is
you guys
gonna
have any
look
more
at
questions
it,
for
and they're
me?
going to say,
You guys have any more
does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a clip.
anti-Semitic
This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not answering the question.
Oh, this is another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we could be famous again. Next question.
Kyrie, basketball related.
Oh, how frustrating.
Yeah, bro. See, that's why I don't like having a boss, man. Like, Kyrie's he has to do that. He has to sit there and catch all his heat, and you can't post what you want, and right away everybody wants to nitpick, pick apart, put their own context on it, and always try to frame you. And that's why people like me get fed up. And why you think I call out Latino Hollywood every other fucking tweet? Right? Why do y'all think I keep reminding people who really owns Fools Gone Wild? Mm-hmm. Kanye gave you a hint.
Yeah.
And hey, look into it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. They the ones posting all this like fucking little Mexican Chicano crackheads, meth heads, glass heads, whatever they call them, smoking crystals, smoking this. They're being fools. They got the tall socks and they're fools. And this shit is entertaining to be ghetto. And now look into who owns the page. Let's pray for Kyrie. He has caught so much heat. He has been resilient. When they try to bully him and pressure him into taking this experimental medicine, you could just tell they want to call him like tinfoil hat so bad.
Yeah.
You know, but why? You're promoting this. And it's like, wait, so all of a sudden Alex Jones is radioactive and now you can't even post anything that they say. Same thing with Trump. The minute Trump did a thing with Nelk Boys, or anytime Trump takes a podcast interview and he might touch on some spicy topics, right away it all gets memory hold and deleted. What are they doing to Kanye right now? Memory hold and delete. Memory hold, delete. Like, hide it, deplatform, put it away. I guess Lex Friedman's version is still up. I don't know.
Him and Kanye?
Yeah, like, I mean, they're not gonna fucking take down Lex Friedman shit. You know,
I don't know, man. It's weird. I see. It's more of that. Like, I think for the most part, you're pretty good about keeping a level head. When you watch stuff like that, though, it is really frustrating and hard to not like want to go over the top with your hot take on it or your feelings on it. But that's exactly, in my opinion, what they want. Like, they want you to go be super like, oh, this conservative leaning individual, not you, but anybody,
lost his cool and
yeah,
attacked the reporter.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was simply asking a question about Alex Jones.
A simple sports question about Alex Jones and him promoting his post.
He insurrected him.
He insurrected him. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
He got insurrected in front of everyone.
He got hammered.
Yeah.
Insurrected with a hammer. No, I don't think this shit can last too much longer, man.
Man, if I was Kyrie, I'd be like, what can I invest my money in? Like, how much longer do I have to play ball and deal with these motherfuckers? Right? Like, how am I gonna flip my money so I could just go off the grid and I have to do no more interviews and no more forced vax, anything else?
MSN News. It's a couple of the headlines. NBA reporter drops truth bomb on Kyrie Irving.
MSNBC framed it that way?
That was MSN News.
MSN.
When I come over here, MSN, like the
Microsoft something,
whatever, something I don't even know.
NBA reporter, drops truth bomb. Oh my God.
Over Kyrie's controversial press conference. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's like, I don't even know how to make sense of some of this shit anymore.
This is how I look at it, bro. They want to be able to use black males, right? Black folk and minorities and people of color and things like that. Like, they want to speak for you, like Chelsea Handler and all these people. They want The View. They want to champion you and tell you they know what's best for you until you start thinking for your goddamn self, right? And you walk off the reservation. You're like, you know what? I'm good on the medicine. I'm going to be like the quarterback. What's the guy with the longer hair that was like, vote Republican? With Rogan?
Fucking Packers quarterback.
Yeah. Y'all know who
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Like, Kyrie Irving, the minute he says, I'm good on the experimental jab, they're like, oh, you're a problem. You know, Toby.
Yeah.
Right? You know that one?
No.
What's your name? Kunta. No, it's Toby. What's your name? Kunta Kinte. It's Toby.
Oh, yeah,
If it's in the movie Roots, there's a fucking scene and it's pretty disturbing and graphic. But that's how I look at it. The minute Kanye is no longer in good graces, like he's saying shit, he wore the red hat. Boy, how'd they jump on Killer Mike? Killer Mike went and met with, I think, Governor Kemp or something in Georgia to talk about bringing trades back to schools and some concerns he had. He was up there like Ice Cube, speaking on behalf of his constituents. Boom. Nicki Minaj said some shit. Lil Boosie said some shit. Lil Boosie got fucking totally canceled by the gay mafia. You know what I mean? The minute he started speaking up, and being vocal about his stance on certain things and how he wants to raise his kids. Look at Kevin Hart. Oh, you want to host the Oscars? No, you ain't. Not until you do this ritual and publicly repeat these lines and do this struggle session. That's how I see it, bro. They just don't want Kyrie to be like a sovereign, autonomous, individual black man with his own opinion. It's like, no. You have to be Democrat, Kyrie. Your name is Toby. He's like, no, I think I'm Kunta.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. All I can say is if you like the content, guys, you got to support it directly at patreon.com/redpilltamales to get triple the content and help it stay independent, because the last thing you want is to be at the beck and whim of any big brand or company that doesn't like what you're saying, even if it's someone else's. You can't post or talk about what somebody else posted or talked about, because then you're also enemy number one all of a sudden.
Yeah, we really want to grow the Patreon, patreon.com/redpilltamales. Like Rob said, to reiterate, we want our voice to be independent and crystal clear and honest and transparent. We ain't sellouts. It's never gonna get to the point we're up here pushing some shit we don't really believe in.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Yeah, brought to you by
Can you
Pfizer.
imagine?
Kyrie Irving was wrong. He stepped out of line, and it was very dangerous for him to quote Alex Jones, who Sherry's berries. And we thought he was listening to Kanye, because I heard Apple Music pull down the. I haven't checked the Kanye Essentials playlist. Supposedly, it got removed in the middle of all this.
So that's the last straw too, right? We'll end on that, is whether iTunes, Spotify, and whoever else is actually going to pull his music, which I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, I don't know. But again, it's going to prove his point, which is there's one thing and one group you can't criticize and you can't point out certain things. Again, sign up for premium podcasts at patreon.com/redpilltamales. Premium podcast. You get hooked up to the Discord, bonus episodes, and so forth. Keep us going, keep us growing, because I'm only one person. Rob is only one person. We have our team, we have our staff. My wife, she's wearing several hats. So in order to, if y'all really enjoy our political hot takes, patreon.com/redpilltamales, because I've seen people, I think Corpitos Trompitos, he was like, hey man, I hear Chingo always bitching and complaining, talking about, hey, y'all lucky if this show lasts past midterms and maybe to 2024. But I'm just letting y'all know, support it, because since I'm only one person and we have a lot of other projects and things that we want to do, shit.
It's got to make sense.
Yeah, and I'm not bluffing. I'm not up here like, oh, he just up here bluffing and complaining, trying to fucking do his little telethon. But it's like, no, real talk. Like, there's other shit. There's only so many hours in the day. And for every hour you're talking about politics, arguably further shooting yourself in the foot, because raza is so fucking close-minded and brainwashed. Sorry, excuse my French, Chicanos. But hey, some people, they don't really want to take heed, right?
Yeah.
Like you got obviously American Cholo. He has the way he does his show. He has his audience, his fan base, and the stuff he talks about, and he has his way of growing his show. If you want to hear our hot takes, patreon.com/redpilltamales. We appreciate the love, and I'll see you Addison Improv November 4th, 5th, and 6th. Sas.